Good morning students. Today we are going to start with the remaining part of the second chapter, population. We are going to start with the topic composition of population. Here we need to know what is population composition. Population composition refers to the physical, socio-cultural and economic attributes of the population such as age and sex, place of residence, language, religion, marital status, literacy, etc. These are the characteristics of the population which are measurable and help in distinguishing one group from another. Population composition helps us to know how many are males or females, which age group they belong to, how educated they are, and what type of occupations they are employed in, what their income levels and health conditions are. The population of a country may be classified into rural and urban on the basis of where a person resides. The rural population refers to the people residing in villages, while the urban population refers to the people living in towns and cities. In India, for instance, 69% of the population resides in villages and 31% resides in towns and cities. Students, you must be thinking, why is there any need of such division of the population composition on the basis of residence, which we are doing as rural population and urban population? Definitely, this division is necessary because rural and urban populations differ from each other in various aspects like population density, occupations and livelihood, presence of various amenities, transport and communication facilities, and the socio-cultural environment. Rural areas generally have a lower population density. The people living in villages are typically engaged in primary activities such as farming, fishing, mining, etc. The educational and medical facilities are usually not very highly developed. Opportunities for higher education are fewer. Transport and communication facilities are not of a very high standard. Village communities are usually closely knit with a strong emphasis on cultural traditions. On the other hand, we find the urban areas. Urban areas generally have a higher population density. People living in these areas are usually engaged in secondary and tertiary activities such as trade, transport, services, etc. There are, of course, better facilities for education, healthcare, transport, and communication. There is also more opportunities for economic growth. However, the socio-cultural ties between people in cities are not as strong as those in villages. In recent years, the urban population has risen and the rural population has declined as more and more people from villages have moved to cities in search of education and jobs. About this, we will learn in the next chapter. Children, now we will talk about the age composition. Age composition of population is usually expressed in terms of three broad age groups. One is the children below the working age, that is 15 years, and persons in working age, those are the adults, and the working age is 15 to 59 years, and the old persons above the working age, that is above 59 years. Higher working population is considered an asset for a country as it means that there is a high availability of labor for the development of the nation. If we talk about India, India has one of the highest percentages of population in the younger age group. According to the 2011 census, 29.5% of the population of the country is in the age group of 0 to 14 years, while 92% of the population is less than 60 years of age. Another characteristic that helps us to study the population is called the sex ratio. It reflects the comparative number of males and females in the population. In India, sex ratio is calculated in terms of females per thousand males. The formula to calculate the sex ratio is female population upon male population into 1000. For instance, when we say that sex ratio is in India is 940, it means that there are 940 girls for every 1000 boys. The sex ratio is considered favorable if there is an equal or higher number of females per thousand males in the population. An adverse or unfavorable sex ratio means that there is a lower number of females per thousand males in the population. The sex ratio is usually unfavorable in those countries where gender discrimination is widespread and women are considered to have a lower status in the society. Practices of female feticide, female infanticide, and domestic violence towards women can lead to an unfavorable sex ratio. Population pyramid is a specially designed diagram that shows the age and sex composition of a population. It is called a population pyramid because the diagram resembles a pyramid. You can see in the adjacent picture there is a picture of pyramid. This is the population pyramid. It is perhaps the most effective way to show the age and sex structure of a population. The diagram consists of bars arranged in the form of a pyramid with the longest bars at the base and the shorter ones at the top. The bars show different age groups with the males on the left and the females on the right. The base represents the youngest age group and the apex represents the oldest. The age groups are arranged in an ascending order vertically with the youngest age group at the bottom. The shape of the population pyramid shows the characteristics of the population. Briefly, we shall study three types of pyramid. First pyramid is expanding population. In this case, the age-sex pyramid is more or less triangular with a broad base and a narrow apex. The broad base shows a larger proportion of population in the lower age group, which is an indication of high birth rate. The narrow apex on the top shows the high death rate in the older age group. Such a pyramid indicates rapid population growth. Countries like Nigeria, Bangladesh, India and Mexico will have such a population pyramid. Next we are going to talk about the constant population. Here the pyramid is almost shaped like a bell with a narrow top and a broad middle for several bars. This shows that the birth rate is almost equal to the death rate, leading to a constant population with the percentage of males and females remaining almost the same. Usually developed countries such as USA have this kind of pyramid. For the declining population, the pyramid is called constrictive pyramid. The pyramid depicting declining population has a narrow base, a bulging middle that reflects low birth and death rates and a slightly narrow apex. Countries like Japan, Germany and Italy have this kind of a pyramid. Students, let us revise all the three pyramids we have discussed. That is, first one is for the expanding population, that is the rapid growth. The population pyramid of a country in which birth and death rates both are high is broad at the base and rapidly narrows towards the top. This is because although many children are born, a large percentage of them die when they are infant. Relatively few becomes adults and there are very few old people. This situation is typified by the pyramid shown for Kenya. Next pyramid you can see that is of United States, slow growth is there. So you can say that constant population is there. In countries where death rates are decreasing, the pyramid is broad in the younger age groups because more infants survive to adulthood. Such populations contain a relatively large number of young people, and which means a strong and expanding labor force. This type of situation is found in USA. Third pyramid you can see that is of the declining population. In countries like Italy, low birth rate makes the pyramid narrow at the base. Decreased death rates allow number of people to reach old age. My dear students, let us discuss what we have learned today. First, we have learnt about the population that can be divided into rural and urban population depending on where the person resides. Rural and urban population have different characteristics. And then we have discussed about age composition and sex composition. These also help us to study the population. Then population pyramid is a specially designed diagram that shows the age and sex composition of a population. Under it we have discussed three kinds of population pyramids, one for the expanding population, other one for the constant population, and last we have discussed about the declining population. So students, I hope all of you have understood all the concepts which I have explained in this video, and do the worksheet also side by side to make the concepts more clear to you. Thank you so much students. Have a good day.